Welcome to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman, the podcast dedicated to helping you build the business of your dreams and live the life you always hoped for, with valuable and fun tips and info to make your life easier and more fun. And now, here's your host, a man who sprinkles metal shavings on his breakfast cereal just for fun, Jason Silverman.
Welcome to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. I'm your host, Jason Silverman, and I'm thrilled to share some time with you again today. As you know, I'm always on the hunt for interesting as well as super smart real deal guests. And I gotta tell you, today's show is a winner. I want to introduce my listeners to somebody who's truly been there and done that. And I'm excited to pick her brain for your benefit today. And, of course, for my benefit as well. Now, for the folks who I work with in any of my coaching programs, through Power Forward's character development or All-Star cheer sites, you know how much I focus on exercise, right? Well, this show is going to help us to understand the ins and outs of it, but also to really understand it at its highest levels and to meet somebody who's taken that and just pushed it to the limits. So this is going to be pretty darn exciting. So today it's going to be my honor and privilege to share an amazing resource with you. You're going to love today's guest. She's got a ton of valuable info about what I consider to be a super important topic, not only to help you succeed, but really to help you get above and beyond where you are right now to really where you want to be. So let's strap yourself in. I want you to really enjoy today's show. As I'm sure you already know, I'm committed to helping business owners just like you to become more successful, enjoy your career more, and in general, make your life significantly more fun. We only get one ride on this merry-go-round, boys and girls. Let's make sure it is one hell of a ride. Alrighty, folks, it is time. Stop surfing Facebook, put away your phone, your tablet, your dog, your cat, your spouse, your child, anything that might possibly distract you from today's show. You're about to get some great, immediately implementable information, and I don't want you to miss even a second of it. So, before we officially get going, let me give you a little bit of background about our special guest expert today. Jen Rulon is a USA Triathlon Level 1 coach of over 16 years and the owner of JenRulon.com. She received her master's in Kinesiology with an emphasis in exercise science. You can find her knowledge shared in Triathlete Magazine, Runner's World, on the TEDx Stage, the Health and Wellness Expo in San Antonio, Texas, Men's Journal Online, and the New York Times. Jen also practices what she preaches. She's a 13 times Ironman Triathlete who recently participated for the World Championships in Kona, Hawaii on October 14th, 2017. Jen, welcome to The Real Deal. I'm thrilled to have you today.
Well, thanks for having me, Jason. I appreciate it.
The pleasure is mine. So, before we officially get started, for those who haven't had the opportunity and pleasure of meeting you or hearing you speak, reading your books, take a second and share your story with our listeners. What are you passionate about? What makes you tick? Who is Jen Rulon?
I'm very passionate about triathlon. I am passionate about fitness, I should say. And it's just, I think what I want to share about triathlon is that it has started, it was a little kid, I say little kid, but I was 17 years old. It was 1989 and I was watching the Ironman World Championship on the ABC Wide World of Sports. And some of you may remember that tagline, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. And you could see the guy tumbling down the ski hill. Yeah, the skier. And at that time, I was watching the Ironman World Championship, and I saw Mark Allen, Dave Scott. They now call it the Iron War. And I saw them cross the finish line. Mark Allen won that day at 8:05. And then an hour later, the first female crossed the finish line, Paula Newby-Fraser. And I thought to myself, well, if she can do it, I can do that. Why can't I? So I said to my mom when I was 17 years old, I said, Mom, I'm going to do the Ironman by the time I'm 30. And so as time passed, I would do triathlons, I would do sprints, I would do some Olympics. So just to let people know about an Ironman triathlon, it is a 2.4 mile swim, 112 mile bike, and a 26.2 marathon run. So I was working my way up to that, especially when I realized that 30 was getting a little closer than I anticipated. So I So long story short, 2002, I accomplished my first Ironman in Ironman, Wisconsin. So 6 weeks right before my 31st birthday. But what I realized, it wasn't that Ironman that I told my mom I was going to do. I was told her I was going to do that Ironman triathlon in Hawaii. And so that has just sort of been in my mind for the last 28 years to do that race. And then it became it was passion. And then it became well, why is the body going through this and what's happening? So then that was me going to become a coach. Then that was me going back to school. And then that was me starting my own business, jenrulon.com. So that's it in a nutshell.
So tell me this, from the time, just to understand the timeline, from the time you decided, hey Mom, I'm going to be an Ironman, how long did it take you to achieve that dream?
To do my first Ironman? Oh gosh. So that was in 89. And so 2002 was my first Ironman.
Okay.
Oh gosh. Somebody do the math, please. 2002, 1989 was, but then, to do the Ironman World Championship, so it took me, 13 years to do my first Ironman.
Okay.
Until when I said I was going to do, an Ironman by the time I was 30. So it took me 13 years. It then took me 28 years to do Ironman Hawaii, the World Championship that I saw on television.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So this is not an overnight success kind of thing.
No, it's not. Not at all. Just like any job, I love how people say to me, "Oh my God, this came so easy for you." I'm like, really? Because it took me 28 years to get there.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. So tell me, how did you go from, being a competitor to the coaching side of things? Was that a logical or an easy transition, or was it something that you'd always wanted to do?
Actually, no, ironically. It wasn't something I always wanted to do. So for me, this job and this part of my life is my second job. So my first job, my first dream and my goal, I actually achieved that. And I was an animal trainer at SeaWorld San Antonio for 14 years. And so I realized that with that job, the stress levels were there, as we probably are, we know from the SeaWorld aspects of things. And so I knew I wanted to move on from that job, but I really didn't know what to do. And I started coaching in about 2001 is when I got my USA Triathlon Level 1 cert. And I started coaching just because I thought it was fun to do. I didn't think of it as a job at all. It was more of my hobby. It was a hobby. It was really what it was. And so, I just started realizing it was time for me to move on from SeaWorld just because of the stress level. And, I said to my husband, hey, I'm really looking to change careers. How about me going back to school? And so I did, and he was very open about it. And I went back to school and got my degree in master's, in kinesiology. So.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, then, what I guess the next logical question is, what made you start JenRulon.com?
Yeah. So this was an eye-opening experience for me because in 2012, I graduated with my master's. I left SeaWorld by that time. I was working at a gym, and I started applying to all these places here in town. I was applying to just different positions, and I kept getting turned down. At one point, I was actually thinking that I should go back to the marine mammal world because I thought to myself, my gosh, like I cannot get a job with my degree. Like what is going on? I didn't want to work at, a global gym. At that point I was working at a CrossFit gym. And so I just sat there going, what am I going to do? Like I cannot find your typical 9-to-5 job. So in 2002, I was at Ironman Hawaii because my husband qualified, and I was at the swim start and the gun went off, and it actually just opened up my eyes again, because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot there was this dream that I was trying to get to this place where he's at right now. And so I said to myself, Jen, either you need to suck it up and try to find a 9-to-5 job, or you need to start your own dang business. And 5 years later, here I am with JenRulon.com.
Well, tell me what you do there. Because, obviously I've been up there. I think, I'm not in the triathlon world.
Sure.
There was so many interesting things going on. What does it encompass?
Yeah. So as a triathlon coach, I work a lot with, is that what you're saying? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I do a lot of one-on-one coaching. I have a lot of athletes that will come to me and say, hey, Jen, I want to cross the finish line to an Ironman. I want to cross the finish line to a half Ironman. Sprints, Olympics. I don't work with them as much. I usually refer those out, like a little bit beginners, but, everything that I do is actually online. And so I will work with athletes. I'll give them swim workouts, bike workouts, run workouts, strength workouts. I'll give them, we'll talk about nutrition. I'll talk to them generally on a every other week basis. It just depends on what they need at that time. I'll do a group call with a group on a monthly basis. So everything that I do is online. And then for those that are locally, I'll try to get together with them once a month, whether that might be going for a bike ride, grabbing breakfast, going for a cup of coffee, going for a swim, that type of thing. So it's, like I said, it's mostly online, but it's me preparing them to get ready to cross the finish line with a smile. That's what I do. And it's pretty dang awesome.
That's fabulous. Personally, the thought of a triathlon scares the bejesus out of me.
Right.
Which I have to believe most people going into this, it's such a huge goal. This is not
sure.
Hey, I hope to run a mile one day.
Right.
Like, this is hardcore. Just for those who are not in the triathlon world, what is a triathlon? What does it encompass?
Yeah, a triathlon is a swim, bike, and run. So you could range from a sprint distance triathlon, which would be maybe a 500-meter swim, a 12-mile bike, and maybe a 5K run. Then you have the Olympic distance triathlon, which is a 1.5K swim, 40K bike, and a 10K run. Then you got your half Ironman, 1.2-mile swim, 56-mile bike, and then a 13.1-mile run. And then you have your full Ironman, and that's the 2.4-mile swim, 112 bike, and a marathon run.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is impressive. That is ridiculous.
And I think what happens is that what happens to a lot of people is that they'll see the Ironman triathlon on NBC, currently, and they'll be like, well, I want to do that. And so I always encourage people, if you're going to do that, just make sure you do some sprints and you do some Olympics and you do some half Ironmans before you just go diving into a full. Because there's a lot to learn. I would
assume not just the physical, I would assume there's a mental component to this.
Oh, I think that is the biggest thing that I learned this year was the mental aspects. And I heard a quote on another podcast. It was, start getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
Okay.
So you just have to get out of your comfort zone, because it's really easy to be running 9-minute miles, but if you can run faster than that, sometimes that's not easy to do. And it's a mind mess.
Now, I've got a question for you. How have you
Sure.
How have you applied that kind of mental strength to your own business?
Yeah, right. That's a great question. Sort of the same thing. Like, I think going into looking at the business aspects of things, I have learned so much the last 5 years with my business. At one point, I was trying to do everything and anything under the sun to make money. And then I had to get out of the mindset, no, you specialize in triathletes. And so you work with them. You're not a personal trainer. You're not, you don't work out, you don't work with people at the gym specifically. So that was one thing, like the mindset of also saying no. That has really helped a lot as well, because I think it's very easy for business owners to say yes, 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 but then you're saying maybe no to your own self-care, or you're saying no to your own fitness or family or whatever that might be. So I think having that mindset of knowing what you want in your business and learning to say no and not doing everything under the sun because it's, putting money in your bank has been the key for me in my business.
I love it. Now, I know that your BHAG, or your Big Hairy Audacious Goal, is to empower 10,000 triathletes to get to the finish line with a smile.
Yes.
What's your plan for that?
Yeah, good question. So currently, I am working. I have a couple plans. Currently, I have one-on-one coaching. So that's, unfortunately, I can only take on so many athletes for that. So I have that. So if I can get 10 to 20 a year, up to 30 a year, I'm good. There's my 30. And then I have something called a fundamentals course to triathlon. And that is helping, that's like a 6-week program and getting people to the finish line with a smile. But it's a course, and it's $147 for the course. And so if people don't want to spend the money on a one-on-one coach, then those people that are looking at doing the beginning triathlon, like a sprint or Olympic, that's something that they could do. So maybe I have 100 people on that, right? And then another thing that I started doing is coaching the coach. And so this is me talking to other coaches on how to build their brand authentically. So if I work with, let's say, maybe 20 coaches a year, maybe those coaches will work with 20 coaches a year. And then it's just going to keep building and just building. So I have a couple options, but I also have time on my side. It's not going to happen overnight, because I saw that with my own triathlon journey. So I know I'm going to get there. It's just as a matter of when I'll get there.
That's totally fair. Totally fair. I love it. All right. It's time for our resource of the week. So, Jennifer, tell me this. How can our listeners find out more about you and, how you're helping to get that next 10,000 people across the finish line with a smile on their face? Sure.
You could go to my website, jenrulon.com, but I am an Instagram junkie. So I have Coach Jen Rulon is my own personal account as an athlete. And then I have Rulon Racing, and that is the team that I work with and that I promote. And then I also have Coaching the Coach Instagram page as well. So that is Instagram is my jam. I really do enjoy Instagram. And then obviously my website.
And that's the jenrulon.com.
You got it.
JNRULO.com.
You got it.
Perfect.
And then of course, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, but my main platforms are Instagram and my website.
Fabulous. Have you found that the use of Instagram has really sped up the ability to engage with more triathletes?
Very much so. Oh my goodness. I want to say probably about half of my clients are from Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I said, there's word of mouth, but Instagram has been huge in my business. And I think what it is, it's the simple hashtag of triathlon, triathlete, all the crazy hashtags you can, you don't want to overdo it, but then it's me getting my dreams, like making my dreams come true. Like people who have been following me on Instagram with the coach Jen Rulon, they have known that I wanted to get to Hawaii since they started following me. And so when I qualified to get to Hawaii in August this year, like the outpour of direct messages was insane because everybody felt like, holy cow, like we've been following her this whole time and she did it. She did it. Like I'm going to get emotional on you, but it's pretty spectacular what Instagram has done. Yeah.
That's no joke. Okay. So that's, I'm guessing you're using video, you're using imagery. What have you found to be the most helpful? Honestly,
good quality photos.
Okay.
And the photos have to be aligned with what you're doing. I think there's too many people out there that will confuse their business to their personal life on Instagram. So if there's let's say there's a personal trainer getting ready to coach some kids. So they're, taking a picture of the kids, whatever. And then the next day is, their cat, I think it's Instagram has to be very separate to, everyday life to actually your job and your brand. And that is the biggest thing. And then occasionally pop in a video as well.
Okay.
Yeah. But quality photo and then also giving some education behind it too. So on one of my posts the other day, I was doing some double unders, with a jump rope. And so I did the double unders, but then I explained why double unders were good for triathletes. It was like educating them on that.
Fabulous. All right. Well, there's a ton of meat right there. So that's spectacular.
Yeah.
All right. So I always like to end my podcast with what I consider to be a telling question. So, if you could give other business owners just one solid piece of advice that you've learned, to either help their business or probably more importantly, help them to live a better life, what would that one piece of advice be?
Oh. I think the biggest thing that I have seen is finding your why behind it all. And it's a very popular topic. I think a lot of people talk about it, but I think it's a very important reason why you get out of bed every day. And I had some whys as an athlete, and I have whys as a business owner. I'm there to get 10,000 people to cross that finish line with a smile. I mean, that's very empowering. And that to me is exciting.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, the importance of our own why. We always focus on everybody else's stuff, but, without our own why, well then,
right.
What the heck are you doing this for?
Right.
That's brilliant. All right. Well, Jen, thank you so much for joining me today. I know how busy your schedule is, and we've had to reschedule this a couple times just to kind of jump in there. But again, I'm thrilled we had the opportunity to catch up.
You made it happen.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me and sharing some of this wisdom with us. These were great tips. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And looking forward to listening more and other tips that you have from other guests as well.
We've got some great ones. So fabulous.
Excellent.
Alrighty, folks, that is all the time we've got today. Thanks so much for tuning in to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. For more info about private coaching or to see if you benefit from one of my mastermind groups, visit me over at www.jasonmsilverman.com. I look forward to helping you achieve the success that you truly deserve. Until next time, let me leave you with this. Get out there and be the real deal. Set a goal, make a plan, work like hell towards it, and achieve the success that's waiting for you. Now's the time. Get out there and make it happen. Go get them, people. This has been Jason Silverman, and I hope you have a spectacular week.
You've been listening to The Real Deal with Jason Silverman. To access the great resources mentioned in the show and for information on coaching and mastermind group opportunities with Jason, please visit jasonmsilverman.com.